Hey, how's it going? This is Augustus with Ask a Wise Guy, and I'm about to get wise with you. Man, I seen this video, and I was really hit by this video. I really didn't know what to think when I first seen it. I don't think any of us knew, what to really think when we first seen this video. But this video is pretty much going to be on Tyrese and his situation with his baby mom, with his baby girl, And man, first of all, I just want to say, hey Reese, if you're listening out there, man, stay in there, bro. Stay in there. God got you, and I'm keeping you lifted up. For all of those that seen that video that Tyrese did, I just want to say to you guys, have an open mind. Look at the big picture. Many people have been in situations like this, and if you understand how the system is played out, how it wasn't designed to work for people like Tyrese, people like Snoop, Tiger. Pretty much cats from the hood. You have to understand that things don't work out the way that you would like them to. See, let's not forget about OJ, right? These are, when people end up in situations like this, as it's happening, people they get their popcorn out and they watch. It's entertaining. But when they put that person under the jails, now it's something serious. Now people start picketing. Now they start protesting. Now all of the people that Tyrese says something interesting in that video. I've watched it over and over, and I really wanted to understand what was happening, but Tyrese said something that was very deep. It was actually an eye-opener to me. He said, I have all these friends, I have all of these rich friends, all of these friends with money, and none of them are there for me. None of them are helping me out. That's an eye-opener for anyone that has any type of aspirations or goals, or they want to become successful themselves. That's a real eye-opener. See, and this is something that this gentleman, we know that he's funny. We know he's a singer, and we know that he's a very hilarious character. He's the life of the party, type character, right? This is what we're used to seeing him as. But let's not forget where he's from. Let's not forget, the things that he's seen coming up. Let's not forget that, he's still certified. All right. For those that you don't know much about, the streets or street smarts. You're not from Cali. You're not from the block, right? You really have no say in this. All right. But if you know what I'm talking about, you know where I'm coming from. Tyrese, he is from Watts. you know. But of course, he got into the church. He came to the Lord. His life has changed. He got a daughter. He has a different life now. Us as men, as real men, seeing this, the last thing we need to do is add on to the fire that's happening in his life. You know, him crying, that's a good sign. That shows that he's human. That shows that, you know, he's not, the hood hasn't affected him in that way. I've had conversations with cats that told me that their best friends would die and they'll go to their funerals and they wouldn't even cry. You know, some people, their own family members died. And I'm not talking about aunties, cousins, no, I'm talking about actual close, within the household, family members died, and they don't even shed a tear. Why? Because they had no conscience. They had no emotion. They didn't even know how to feel. So Tyrese, this is his baby girl, and he's in the corner here, and we know that this is a real man. I could say from observing the change in his life, you know, I believe he's a man of God. You know, does he represent the Lord in the church? No. Is he, you know, is he the most holiest person that you will see in the church? No. But does he do good things? Does he do godly things? Can you see Jesus in him when he gives these inspirational videos, talking to many people that really don't care about him, that think he's a joke or whatever, right? And making videos to these guys telling them how they should get it together. Can you see Jesus in that? Yeah. Can you see the love in that? Yeah. And I want to say to those of you that call yourself Christians, right? Those of you that claim that, you know, you even think you're going to heaven, right? You even think that you know the Lord, right? If you see someone like that in a situation like that, and Christian or not, are you gonna do something godly? Are you gonna, you know, anything small? Just send a comment. Hey, keep your head up, bro. Hey, it's gonna work out. God got you. Are you gonna have his back, or are you gonna join the world and just poke holes in him? You know, Kevin Hart, his video response, 50 Cent, their responses. These guys know Tyrese. You know, they make these videos. The Rock, they know Tyrese. They make their videos, and once they see him in person, you know, it's a different story. It's man to man, mano a mano. They're having a real conversation. All right. You don't see that, of course. You'll never see that because you're not a part of that. Right? We're on the sidelines and we're watching. We're just seeing what the media wants to put out there, right? But that shows you the big picture. And the big picture is we need to be there for this cat, man. There's many of you that are in similar situations, and you're laughing at this man. You know, don't you have a baby mom of your own? Don't you have a couple of baby mothers of your own? A couple of children by other mothers, right? And I'm not even talking to the ladies right now because I know the ladies are gonna by nature have a open eye, right? But yeah, man, this is, you know, there's much that I want to say on this, but I'll just say, Tyrese, once again, if you're listening, there's many things with this that I gotta admit, this kind of caught me off guard. So I remember the last time I seen you on the Breakfast Club, you were saying you were talking about your wife, and how you how you're switching things up, how you're getting everything together. When you was with Rev Run, when you was with Luda, it was the same story, and I could see the change. I could see the grown man in your stride. You know what I mean? So I gotta respect that, and I just want to say that this is happening. This kind of caught me off guard too. This kind of caught me off guard because I thought this was the finish line. I thought this was the last stretch, But the ugly thing is that we're in an atmosphere that is more polluted than ever. This atmosphere is just, you can't get away from distractions. You really can't get away from it. And my advice to you is, think about those main mentors in your life. And think about, everyone else that's listening, you could learn from this, all right? But think about those main mentors in your life. Think about the advice that they've given you on how to stay out of this. Think about the things, the advice that you have taken. And don't forget this one. Think about the advice that you haven't taken. Think about the advice that you have taken. And think about the advice that you have not taken.
Peter Parker.
One thing that I've noticed with just people is that we like taking advice that sounds good. We like taking the easy advice, and we like giving ourselves credit for the good advice, for the advice that we have taken, right? But we don't ever examine the advice that we haven't taken. 9 times out of 10, because once we're on top of that mountain and we look down and we look back at that advice that we haven't taken, unless we end up in a scenario where we need that advice and that advice makes sense now, we may feel the same way about that advice. We may say, oh, well, I didn't feel like doing that then. I'm already on top of the mountain. Why would I need to do that now? And then the situation comes to, and then now it's, oh, man, now I see why they gave me that advice. And then we start having we start giving speeches on if I could rewind time. And this is not a I told you so video. That's not what this is. But, excuse me. This is about wisdom. This is about wisdom. Wisdom is the principal thing. And there's two kinds of wisdom. There's two kinds of wisdoms. There's the wisdom of this world, and then there's the wisdom of the Lord. The wisdom of this world, that's 1 Corinthians. The wisdom of the Lord, that's all of Proverbs, really. And, things like this, they come subtly. And they come very subtle. And what happens is, you could be living with your wife, you could be living with your spouse, right? And as you're with her, you start noticing some different things. And Now she's with you. She start noticing some different things, and you start seeing different things. You get around your friends. She gets around hers. Both of you can have your own mentality, right? You can have your own mentality. But once you leave your friends and she leaves hers, and you guys come together, you're going to use some of what you got with your friends, which are the norm, right? You're the one with that high mind mentality. They're the ones with the normal status quo mentality. And you bring some of this normal status quo to her. Yeah, it may be fun. Yeah, it may seem appealing. But it's the norm. And if you bring norm to high-minded, to a high-minded based home, guess how that home's gonna turn out? So you're going back with your friends, she's going back with hers. And I don't know how you guys live your life, right? But this is usually how these things happen. It's very subtle, and it's sad how this happens so often, but it's sneaky. And you do this, she does it. Both of you guys are sharing your norm, your new norm, and you're sharing that. Next thing you know, you have a normal household. And the next thing you know, you're having normal problems. Many people end up this way because they don't know how to keep that high-minded flow, that high-minded state, that high-minded atmosphere governing their home. Now, Tyrese, this is one thing that I know. Well, I'm not going to say that I know, but this is one thing that I'm very sure of. One thing that I noticed is that when you and Rev Run was on the Breakfast Club, there was a lot of going back and forth. Now, of course, you're highly opinionated, and you're very free. You're free to make your opinion, right? But there's a time when you have to listen. There's a time where you have to listen. Now, for the show that you guys are doing, I don't know if you guys are still working on the show, but that's good stuff. That's good stuff for the show. But when you guys were, going on these things, these were things where if you would just simply listen, they would keep you out of what you're, going through right now. And it's not easy to say these things, but it's the truth. The truth is never easy to give, and it's never easy to take. I used to be a lot more blunt. I used to be a lot more to the point, and I might become even more blunt later on in the future. Who knows? Lord knows. But at the moment, I'm more sensible to how I just bring things across. But if I was more blunt, I'd probably say some things, and you probably wouldn't be listening to this video anymore, if you're listening. Right? And to everyone else that's listening, this isn't just to Tyrese, this is to you as well. But these are things that you could have bypassed everything that's happening right now. Everything. But you could still bypass a lot of what is ahead for you if you just take in that advice. And I'm quite sure that by now, Rev Run is giving you all the advice that you need. You know, I'm quite sure. Of course, if you talk to him again, he'll probably remind you of those key points, the main things that are important for right now. You know, the main things that you need to tackle first. But 9 times out of 10, he already told you these things already. You know, that's a cool thing about mentors. They're very patient and they don't mind repeating things. You know, but I love this proverb. Everyone's using it, but a mentor is a shortcut in life. A mentor is a shortcut in life. You have a mentor and you have a shortcut. You have a realistic mentor, you're gonna have a shortcut to where you are already going. You have a unreal mentor and you're gonna have unreal shoes to fill. I think everybody would agree when I say that Rev Run is an unreal mentor. Ladies, do you know Cleopatra? I do. And I could bet you $100 that I could see her in you too. See, in the Return of Cleopatra, we're going to cover everything that you need to know in order to bring out that Cleopatra. See, what most don't know about Cleopatra is that she was the only queen that came from Greece, was a queen in Egypt and Rome. She was sexy, smart, and let's not forget, royal. See, most women today don't believe that they deserve to be treated like a queen. Some believe that they deserve more, and some simply just want something new. But in Cleopatra, we're going to figure out exactly what it is that you're looking for and how to get it. So make sure you subscribe and click on that beautiful yellow bell so that you know the second I drop something new. Can't wait to see you there. You know, and those are unreal shoes for you to fill. But guess what? You was on TBN. You know, sharing your testimony, keeping it real on TBN. You know, and for some, they might have heard that and said, "Oh, he's a little blunt." Well, they could sit on their mountain somewhere else. They could be high and lifted up somewhere else. Chances are, if they think like that, they won't even get to the holy mountain, right? They'll be right outside those gates, sniffing those leaves of the healing of many nations for a while. So that's just how that works. Anyway, you know, you have to. This is a big deal. Your mentors are there for a reason, you know. Like for example, you will be a good mentor to me in certain areas, right? Music, I can't tell you a thing about music. Acting, I can't tell you a thing about acting. You know. But there's probably some things on wisdom. There's probably some things on chess, you know, that I can share with you. And age has nothing to do with it. How much you've have achieved, that has nothing to do with it. You know, because see, a lot of cats that claim that they will ride for you, that they will die for you, you know, the people that with the money that say, hey, whatever you need, buddy, yeah, whatever you need, I got you. And in times like this, and they're nowhere to be found. They may be a little more successful than you, and they may be, they could probably be a mentor to you, but they're nowhere to be found. So success doesn't matter alone, you know, in concerning these things, concerning learning things from others, right? But I just want to, you know, getting back to my point. These things are subtle, and they're very subtle, and it's Proverbs speaks on these things. One of my favorite proverbs is it's easier to sleep on a corner of a roof than it is to live with a contentious or quarrelsome woman. Or in other words, a woman that's all over the place, a woman that can't be reasoned with. It's better to live on the corner of a roof than to share the house with her. And see, I know that things were probably heaven on earth for you guys when things were first starting out. Things couldn't have been horrible. It couldn't have been Jody and Yvette all over again when you guys were first together. See, but things started changing. The reason why is because when you go with your friends, you hang out with your friends, and you have a certain group with a certain mind state, and then she goes out with her friends and she has a certain group with a certain mind state, and then you come back together. These are the things that we hear from our mentors, but we don't want to listen to them. One of those reasons is very simple, because a lot of our mentors tell us these things and they don't live by them themselves. They don't practice what they preach. So that's easy to disregard that advice. But it's true. It's real. See, another thing too, you're a man of God, so you should know this. Alright? You've been in the church. I've heard that prayer on Fast 7. That was a church goer. That was a real man of God prayer. Alright? But one thing too is when you're at home with your girl, fun is cool, but you can't have your home to be governed by fun. You can't have it to be governed by fun. You want to have some time where you and your girl comes together into the presence of the Lord. See, because what that's going to do is that's going to say, all right, Lord, regardless of what stupid stuff we do, we want you to have control over this. I could focus on me, and I could only focus on her so much. She could focus on her, and she could only focus on me so much. But you could run the show. And what will happen when you do that every day, when you have a certain time within the day, whenever you have a certain how can I put this? Whenever you have it in your schedules to just spend time with the Lord, you and your girl, right? Because once you're married, you're one. So, in a sense, it's good that you have your own prayer closet. But there's some point in time where you got to bring her into that prayer closet with you, and you guys got to have a flow. If she can't flow with you, if she's, all right, have your own prayer closet and pray that she'll get there to where she could join you. It's not the woman's job to do this, it's the man's job. You're the king. Nowhere in history have I heard that a queen was influencing the king in how to come to the Lord and how to come to their God. Now there was Jezebel, but that was demonic anyway, so I don't think anyone wants to follow that example. But I hope you're following me. I hope you all are following me. But you want to have some point in time where you dwell in the presence of the Lord, and then you go out and have your fun. And then you go out and live your life. Even when you go into the world and you do worldly things, I'm not condoning this, but when you go out into the world, you go clubbing, you go, wherever, right? It's gonna be like there's something that's keeping you where you're supposed to be. Is it fun? Nah. But where you're at right now, a lot of you that's listening, where you're at right now, this isn't fun either. See, fun is like credit. Happiness is like tangible wealth. It's like gold. It's like silver. It's like cash, diamonds, right? You could take success and put it in a safe and lock it up. But credit, you can't touch credit. You spend a lot of positive credit, a lot of positive fun. Eventually, if you just let that fun sit and you just keep adding up on the credit, and you don't have enough success to eat that credit, you're going to end up in the negatives. And you're going to have negative credit. See, when you have a lot of fun, there's going to be a time where you got to pay for it. And that's not going to be fun at all. That's going to be negative fun. But these things come with fun. See, the more fun you have, the more successful you got to be in order to still be in the green. I hope you guys are keeping up. This is if you understand numbers and economics, business, you understand what I'm talking about. All right. If not, I'll try to put it in lay terms. I'll try to make it even more simpler than that. All right. If you have too much fun, you're going to end up paying for that fun. If you have too much happiness, you could put that happiness away. You could throw it in a safe, keep it, not add any more happiness, and you'll still have that happiness. It'll still be yours. You're still happy. You're still wealthy, emotionally. See, these are very basic principles, but the wisdom to it is ground shaking. I'll leave y'all with that. Tyrese, stay in there, bro. It's gonna work out. God got you. He got your back. I got your back. The real Christians, the real believers in the Lord, those that really love the Lord, they can't see where you're at right now and not have your back. Anyone that claims that they love the Lord and they're not having your back, they don't love the Lord. They love somebody else. I got your back, bro. Stay up. God bless everyone else that's listening, that's in these situations. I got your back. I love y'all. Take care. Subscribe. Stay well.